After reading the chapter in the case study, I feel like I gained a lot of knowledge, and I feel that the parent and the child are the two most important stakeholders that I'd like to focus on for this video. To start, I would like to talk about the different emotions that I had after reading the case study and the chart on page 349. The mother was spoken to so poorly by the worker, and the fact that the child had to witness the whole thing really stood out to me a lot. The fact that the child was there working with the mother also stood out to me a lot. And it was alarming that the child had to witness that. And it showed, to me, it showed a lot of how the child was brought up, because even in the case study, the child said that she wasn't going to be angry at an entire race because of the actions of one man. And that just showed me a lot of how her mother brought her up, because just because the man spoke so poorly to the mother, the daughter knew in her right mind that I'm not going to be angry at an entire race because of the actions of this man. And that was so real to me, because I feel like that is still a problem that we face today. Also, the mother is clearly working for her family and her daughter, and she's trying to better the lives of them. And I feel that if the parent was more educated on different things and educated a little bit more on how to speak English and certain things like that, then a lot of these problems would be resolved. Then I also thought that something interesting from the chapter was, in the beginning I read, and it said that at least 3 million individuals are engaged in migrant and seasonal farm work in the US, and their families include an additional 3 million children. And for me, that was just crazy to read, because it makes me feel sad for the families and the children, because they have to work so much, and it might take away from times that they could be together. And the fact that if they the parents, I read in the chapter also that it said that when the parents, they work so much and they are working with their children, and then when they go home, they want to be able to spend more time with their children and their families. So their last thought is to go home and that they're going to study. So they choose to spend time with their children instead of studying. And I thought that it was really interesting to read about the different programs that they've come out with now, for families that they could learn together. And they also have parent and children classes, so the parent can go with the child and they can learn together. And I thought that it was a great idea, and they can help parents in the sense of learning how to speak English and things like that. So those are just some things that I felt were interesting from this chapter, and I definitely feel like the two stakeholders that were most important to me and stuck out the most were the parent and the child.